Hi guys, welcome to a new video. So today we'll take a look at another replay, which will be another game against Prawsha. We have one more after this, so we are getting to the end of Prawsha games, but I have some other players here as well. So let's check this. Once again, Dark Side Forest 1v1, 75% game speed. And in this game, I will be playing as Fallen once again, as in the previous game. And Prawsha will be playing as Empire again. So this is the same matchup we had last time. The difference here is that we are playing next to each other, not across the map. And he has a little bit of an advantage in position because he can make this expansion away from me, while I would need to make it between us. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage, but it's not that important. We don't see any immediate expansions, just going for standard balance. I think he's making the barracks and farm opening with one peasant, and I'm going for 2 hives probably, just to close the path here. This is really good build placement, let's say, for this position. Maybe this hive could have been a little bit to the left, maybe even on this position of this summoner, but you can still close this really easily. I will probably just make the second hive here, and then I will put my control form to this area, because you cannot walk between fallen buildings. So if I stick them right to each other like this, right next to each other like this, you can't walk through them. But even if you stick the building right to the edge of the unholy ground, where you can put it at maximum range, let's say, there will still be a gap, which is of course different from, for example, Empire buildings or Beast buildings, where you can see you can just stick them to the edge of the terrain and no one can pass through here. Even though I stick this on the edge of this mountain, I just still will be able to walk through here. Same will be on this side, even though I left some space here intentionally, even a little bit bigger. But even if I pushed it all the way to the side or here, you will still be able to walk through there because of the unholy ground that doesn't let you build so close to the edge. So this is a little bit of a disadvantage with Fallen that makes it much harder to actually close some areas. But you can always try to fix that with your control forms, because you can't walk through control forms. They are actually pretty tanky. You can also move them around, so I can just fully close it with like 3 or 4 control forms. And then later in the game, where I would get to bigger units, maybe Avengers or something, I could just remove the control form, move it away, get through with my units and maybe close it again or something. And then if he wants to rush me with some big units like knights or catapults or whatever, he will need to destroy it first, because he won't be able to go through it, even though I can, by just removing the control form. So this is one thing you can do to make like a movable wall with Fallen, which is really interesting. But as you can see, it's actually going for 3 barracks, also making another farm here. We don't see any town hall upgrades to Stone Keep, also no blacksmith, probably just wants to spam as many swordsmen as he can, but now he doesn't have population, also doesn't have that much gold. So he's making only 2 swordsmen now, but he has the gold for a third now. He's also scouting me with another swordsman, but I will be able to push him back with my hive stinger, once again denying him the scout. Yeah, so not letting him find out about his vengeance hall, which is always nice, so he doesn't know about my strategy. Yeah, even though he probably knew about it from the previous games we played. I think we played more games in a row, so I think the game we played right before this was probably the one we saw in the video before, where I also played this strategy. So he probably expects it, but it's always good to deny the scout. He doesn't know if I'm maybe going for flying units. Then he of course will be dead here, because he invested so many resources into barracks. It doesn't even have Elven Sanctuary, not a single tower, so also flying units would be really easy here. But as you can see, I did decent scouting here, find out about this army, just full swordsman, but I saw that it's pretty decent army. I don't think I saw these barracks. Maybe I was here with 5 stinger earlier, but I don't think so. But I decided to go for a lightning spire, which is always good. It slows you down a little bit, definitely messes up your build order. Yeah, it pushes the timing push a little bit, which is not ideal. But it gives you a really nice layer of defense. As you can see, this is really disadvantage for me, because we are fighting in a narrow place and he has stronger units. But once I got my nightmare, it's actually pretty good for me, because I can just shoot my units in the front, then it's not that big of a difference that he has stronger units, because he'll be killing them really slowly anyways. And I mainly have some range damage, which is actually pretty high, so I'm able to damage him pretty quickly. Now when I have the Lightning Spire, he cannot push this without catapults, so he will probably start making a gnome workshop really soon, even though now he's going for a temple. Maybe he didn't see the tower yet actually. Here he will probably find my scout. I don't think he's going for an expansion yet, but he just knows that I will be scouting this, so he decided to kill the Hive Stinger. So he just got some nice experience and also denied me one unit. I'm sending one new scout immediately because, of course, I mean, if he kills my scout in the expansion position, the first thing that comes into my mind is that he is trying to expand there, so I will send a new scout, of course. But even if he doesn't, it's fine. As I said, he's going for temple now, finally also for the gnome workshop, because no way of pushing this. There is no way of pushing this without siege units, so he needs the catapult. I'm making 2 new nightmares. I already have 2, then 2 of them, so then I will make just 2 more. I will have 6, then probably 2 nightmares, and we can go for timing push. I'm also going for the nailed scratch upgrade, for movement speed for my nightmares, new control for some population. As you can see, I'm actually keeping this Hive Stinger in the back a little bit, so he doesn't kill him immediately as he did before. Then I will just walk here, check if he has an expansion. Yeah, then I will probably just... I actually left him on the same position, but push him a little bit more to the side, probably with hold position. So he's like hidden behind the tree, so he won't see him immediately unless he actually like attacks move here, or just leave them here fighting against anything they want. As you can see, a ton of swordsmen, really big army. Also bringing some of these priests, but not too many. Also doesn't have any gems, so it's really hard for him. But he's at least making 1 catapult. But as you can see, I'm already making my 5th nightmare, or actually 6th. I already have 5 of them, and now I'm making the 2 matriarchs, as I said. So once this matriarch will be finished, we can start attacking, which is 45 seconds. During the meantime, as you can see, I'm trying to spend my gold and gems all the time. Yeah, here with quick reactions I managed to save the Hive Stinger now, not like last time, so I still have the scout here, which is really good. He started to moving towards me, which I don't know about. There should have been a scout somewhere on the map, but I actually had one in this location checking this expansion as well, so this actually told me about the situation as well. Now he's actually not really making anything, but now he's making 1 swordsman, and he's actually making a blacksmith back here, which is really weird, but okay. Now he's checking around the map, but now I of course go for my timing push. I don't want to fight him here when he has catapult, so I will definitely try to push him back a little bit. I have 2 nightmares. He has a ton of swordsmen, but this is not that wide space, so we can definitely work with this. I will try to bring some Hive Stingers on his catapult immediately. Yeah, so he takes more damage from pikes, so this will be a really easy kill. He will still make 1 more shot here, but I managed to take down the catapult immediately. And now I'm just rising new skeletons here, shooting him with my nightmares. And even though he killed all of my Hive Stingers, and he still has priests, so this is still a really good army. Also he has an aura here. Of course I will focus the swordsman with aura first. I'm just making new archers or warriors, yeah, just new skeletons. Bringing new stingers. Also, if he attacks nightmares, they actually have lifesteal damage, so they are healing themselves by dealing damage, which is always nice. Now I raised another skeleton, and my army is just growing by fighting, so that's always really nice. I know that he didn't make an expansion unless he made it somewhere else on the map, but then he wouldn't have so many units, so I know he didn't make an expansion. I'm burning the mana of his priest. With last parts of my mana on my matriarchs. Now actually has a really strong army, so I will probably need to retreat here. I should have retreated a little bit earlier actually, but even though he probably has trailblazings for movement speed on swordsman, I still should be able to outrun him probably. And now I will just leave my matriarchs in the front. As I said, they have lifesteal, so they can still tank some decent damage even though they don't have that much HP, but I just brought new nightmares, I spawned new skeletons and also maybe some new Hive Stingers, and I was able to push him back once again. So we are just pushing from one side to another all the time, but the fact I can just spawn new units during the fight and not just bring them from home, which I'm also doing of course, just gives me the small advantage I need. Right now I'm of course returning with all of my damaged nightmares, because he can just heal himself really quickly with his priests. You don't really need to do anything for that. I actually need to retreat to my town and heal on the unholy ground, unless I want to build like a deformer here. But I sent one bone archer there as a scout. Yeah, it's probably not... I mean, you can send a hive stinger here, it's not a big difference, but I decided to go with the bone archer there. So now I definitely need to recreate my front line, so just spamming some stingers, also making new nightmares and new matriarchs. Just splitting it between both of my vengeance halls. I also have a third hive in the back, because I have a little bit more gold than gems, so about this time you want to create a third hive for a little bit quicker reproduction of your hive stingers. And now you can see the massive army I have. He wanted to push me because he saw like 10 units 1 minute ago, and now I have twice the amount of units that he saw, and he maybe created like 3 units during that time, so he's just gonna be pushed back. I also have shields everywhere. Of course I will catch this catapult always, so even if he keeps... or he can just go back, but then I will kill the rest of his army as well. He maybe killed some units, but I also killed something, so I raised new skeletons. I'm all the time trying to produce new units, yeah. Of course, multitasking, yeah, trying to spend my resources while fighting, but you can see the population. Yeah, right now I'm not spending resources because I don't have population, but of course, 78 population against 44. There is no way he can do this. And also I have all of his skeletons, so this is totally brutal. Also mana burn on his priests, so as you can see, mana burning all of his priests to basically 0 mana, and he calls this GG. So once again, nice demonstration of this really good strategy with Fallen, which is this timing push, balance strategy. But as you can see, once again, I have actually negative kill ratio, kill loss ratio, but the amount of units I just produced is totally brutal. Largest army, basically twice size of his army, so extremely insane. 2 researches, yes, he had 3, so pretty similar, and resources once again pretty balanced. We of course overgathered wood once again, but didn't really matter. Okay, really nice game, 14 minutes, and I hope you once again learned something from this, or at least enjoyed it. Of course, it's the same thing over and over again, but always the enemy will play a little bit differently. It will be different position, maybe different map, different player, maybe different race, different strategy, so always it's a little bit different. Also, you usually won't play it also from your perspective like 100% same every single time. You will make some small mistakes, or you will need to do some small adjustments based on the things you find out about your enemy in that certain game with scouting and these kinds of stuff, so you always need to adjust according to that. But outside of that, it's really similar all the time, of course. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care, guys.